Peter Franklin is the Gabby Cabby in New York City. Good morning, Peter. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Live from the beautiful streets of New York City.
So, Chris Christie was making some news over the weekend. I know that caught your eye.
In seventh heaven. I dislike him so much. I dislike him almost as much as I dislike Cuomo. So the whole thing was just absolutely fantastic. Absolutely lovely. I presume your audience knows what we're talking about.
Well, let's just let's just review. Right? The beaches, because of a budget issue, the beaches were closed down, but interestingly, pictures surfaced of the governor and his family beached.
At the beach.
At the beach. Yeah,
and, I mean, it affected New York City a lot, and the reason it affected New York City is, if anybody's noticed, we're right next to New Jersey. And the fact of the matter is the Jersey Shore is like Long Island. You know, It's where you go on July 4th. And so here you had hundreds, thousands, millions, billions of cars being turned away until they called off the closing. So it was a delight. It's a lot of fun. It was sort of like one of those harmless things, not for the people stuck in traffic, but, you know, compared to what else is going on in the world. I was in seventh heaven.
So can I ask a follow-up on that? Yeah. Because it doesn't make sense to me, Peter. I want to know what you think. They shut down, so the beaches are closed as part of this shutdown, but so many people come. Are you charged to be on the beach? Because, you know, that would generate a lot of money on the holiday. I mean, they don't shut down toll booths because they make money for the state.
Yeah, well, I mean, the beaches that I'm familiar with, which is Long Island and the Jersey beaches, there's parking fees. Some of the beaches do charge, but that's kind of rare. I mean, that would be...
So they're not giving away a ton of money. They're
Connecticut or something or other. Yeah. But no, it's the business people who would have lost all the money.
Sure.
Think of the hot dogs.
Yeah.
And, you know, in fairness, he's saying, listen, I was just out. This is a private beach, private property, and it's unfair. However, a picture like this getting out is just not something you'd want out. I don't think.
Well, I'm sure that the reporter for whatever the newspaper was who came up with the idea to go out for a ride in the plane and discovered him on the beach. Yeah. Can you imagine how your heart would have started pounding as you're looking at the empty beach and saying, but wait a minute, there's somebody down there. Let's get a little closer and see who it is. Oh, my goodness, it's Christie.
Imagine, like I just hit the jackpot. This is big. Listen, Peter, I was in New York for 5 days. We took the train down, had some delays on the train, but it was otherwise a good experience taking the train in. I also have to say that Uber is now legal upstate, and I used taxi cabs, I used Uber, and we used the subway in New York, and I have stories about each. Do you think Uber is biting into the cab business at all in New York?
Yeah, but it's like any other business. I mean, that would be like, you know, I imagine there's more than one radio station in your area.
Yeah, that's true.
So you have to be better. That's all.
And I do have to say
better.
I do have to say that the beauty of New York is that on any street corner you could, you know, it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes for an Uber to get there. Well, a cab could be there in 30 seconds, 5 seconds. So all you got to do is raise your arm.
He's already waiting for you.
And people asking my advice, be adjustable for it. I mean, I use public transportation. I wouldn't dream of getting into a cab or an Uber or a yellow cab. I mean, forgetting about, you know, who I am. We go by bus and subway every place.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way to travel around New York City.
Well, and I got to tell you, took the subway and got our card and swiped it, but my daughter went to go through and she backed up, so it triggered it. So she didn't get through. So we only had enough for 4 people to get on. So now the 3 of them have been able to go through, but I can't go through. So I was
holding me from jail.
I was ready to jump the.
No, don't even think of it.
And I remembered you saying, "Oh, they'll arrest you for that."
Oh yeah.
So I didn't. I went back and I put my $2.75 in. I got another ticket. But they do arrest you for that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Except there's a fight going on with the police department and the district attorney.
I saw this.
They want to make it so that it's not a crime anymore. You get a slap on the wrist, you know, maybe like a ticket or something.
Yeah.
But as a parent, I experienced in New York City what every parent has, is that the kids here who are going to high school get a card to go from the city for school. Because you might live in the Bronx and you're going to a high school in Brooklyn. But you're not allowed to use it on the weekends. And they're probably using the kid in the city who hasn't used it on the weekend and been caught by a cop, and whose father has to end up paying $90 fine.
Wow. Well, listen, I just because I had you in my head, and I didn't try to cheat. I was going to go in with my daughter, and we kind of go through the gate together, but figured I'd get arrested.
Well, her allowance has been docked as well. For
that's right.
For that
you don't
screw up.
Yeah, you do not screw up like this. All right, there's a mob story in New York. The oldest guest of the federal prison system is now a free man.
Yeah, well, he was 100 years old, and when he was originally sentenced, the judge said he's going to put him in jail, and his lawyer said, but, Your Honor, he won't get out until he's 100 years old. And the judge said, I don't care.
Yeah.
That's the penalty, and I want to make a point. Well, he just got out. His name is Francona.
Sonny Franzese or
Franzese or something or other.
A Colombo
family,
underboss.
He just got out, and he's now at home in Brooklyn with his daughter, 100 years old. He lived.
And
stories, he's going to probably, and I don't wish it on him particularly. Although maybe I do wish it on him particularly.
Yeah.
You know, these guys, you live to 100, you got out of jail and everything, he's going to die in 15 minutes.
Notice that New York City now has a composting public restroom. This is brand new.
Yeah, notice the price tag.
Yeah, $2.34 million. Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, well, it's a new modern thing, and it's probably Mayor de Blasio's brother-in-law. But, I mean, it's a nice idea, and it's an interesting thing, and I'm sure the techie people love talking about it, and people probably enjoy using it because we don't have that many public bathrooms here. But $2 million for a bathroom? That's a lot of money for it.
I don't know that I can. I don't know I can say that. We I don't think that's legal in the United States.
Peter.
Can I tell you my honest?
It should be, to be honest with you. Yeah.
And I would never do anything to get you into trouble. And
you
we'll
just
be in the
did.
joining cells. But I wasn't really paying attention to anything you were saying because my mind was consumed with whether or not I should say that or not.
Well, you did, and the beauty is we run delay, so I think we're okay.
That was the only thing that was in my mind. Should I say it to Bill or shouldn't I? We talked about the beach. We talked about your daughter. I wasn't paying attention.
Listen, there's...
is this Bill Keeler, by the way?
This is Peter. That was priceless. A priceless moment from Peter Franklin.
I'm sorry. I apologize to the FTC or something, but I can't believe.
Listen, I get it. And it's frustrating is what it is. It's frustrating, for God's sakes. All right, Peter, it's Gabby.com. It really is, and anything could happen on these tours that Peter gives, just so you know.
Right, and we prove once again that our conversations are live.
They are live. Peter, awesome. It's Gabby.com. Have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
All right, Peter Franklin, the Gabby Cabby. Wow.
Yeah.
And I
good
think
catch over the both of you. Nice job.
I think technically that word is a derivative of a word that you can't say on radio and television, and it might actually be a word that is not covered. But I would hate to test it.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Well,
with
Peter, Peter was.
Peter, on the other hand, was contemplating testing it throughout the entire conversation.
And he wasn't paying attention, but good thing you and I were. So.
Yeah,
he was stretching the boundaries of the FTC and the FCC. As
it's funny because it was actually written on here, and I'm like, well, I'll bring this one up. I can't imagine he'll actually use the word. And then he did, so I kind of was prepared for it. All right, I got a break.